Calling to order the North Ridgeville City Council meeting. Today's date, Monday, October the 19th, 2020. Please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Father, as we come in prayer, we pray for the strength and wisdom to lead the city to the future. Let us take a moment to appreciate the fine season and the colors and changes of the leaves. And also keep in mind our greatest asset, our children, as they venture out to celebrate the Halloween holiday. And these things we ask and pray in your name. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank. Here. Hughes.
Here.
Avens.
Here.
Winkle.
Here.
Hung. Here. Maleski.
Here.
DeVries.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Service Director.
Here.
Law Director.
Here.
Engineer.
Here.
Auditor. Here. Clerk of Council. Here.
Tonight, you see before you the minutes, the City Council meeting minutes of October the 5th of 2020. Are there any changes or corrections at this time? Hearing none, those minutes are approved and submitted. That will now bring us to our lobby session. At this time, we will open it up to the public that can join us to get involved with our community, and they can ask questions from the mayor's administration as well as City Council. You'll give them a few minutes. We've done this for a while. It's gone pretty smoothly so far. So at this time, I'll pause and ask our clerk if there is anybody waiting in the lobby session.
There is no one right now, but there is about a 20-second delay.
Very good. We're going to pause for about 20 seconds here and see if anybody joins us. Again, if you don't feel comfortable joining live, you can maybe send your questions ahead of time to the council clerk. They will be read at the meetings, and again, we will do our best to address them or find the information that you seek and get back to you as soon as we can. We thank you for your patience, and we will continue to wait for a few moments. Okay, at this time, is there anybody waiting in the lobby session?
Not at this time.
Very good. We will move forward then, and that will bring us to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have several items this evening. First up on tonight's agenda under first readings, we have T110 and 111. Both of these pieces of legislation, I'm going to ask that we pass them by the emergency. First one, T110, is an ordinance authorizing us to enter into a contract for crack sealing. We'd like to move forward with this project as soon as possible to complete the crack sealing before the winter months. And then T111 is a resolution allowing us to submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and Local Transportation Improvement Programs. I'm sure there's an acronym for that. The deadline to apply to OPWC is November 6th, and I'll ask again for the emergency on that. The Lorain County Public Health flu shot clinics are occurring in November. There is information on their website, both our city's website and the Lorain County Public Health Department's website. You can go to their website to find out those dates for the walk-in and drive-through clinics, or you can call the Lorain County Public Health Department at 440-284-3206. We have a spaghetti dinner that's coming up on Friday, October 30th. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. It will be a drive-through spaghetti dinner similar to the one that we did last month. Again, the cost is $6 per dinner, includes the spaghetti, meatballs, and garlic bread. And if you'd like to have purchase tickets, you can stop by the mayor's office at City Hall here. We will take cash or checks payable to the North Ridgeville Senior Center, and that is in an attempt to pre-purchase enough food for the meals for that event. And the North Ridgeville VFW Post 9871 is the sponsor for this event. The following day is October 31st, it's Halloween, and the city will be observing citywide trick or treat from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. If you plan on participating, turn your porch light on. And there are some safety tips put out by the Lorraine County Public Health Department. If you're interested in viewing those, you can go to our city's website or their website as well for those. And as a reminder, before our next meeting, it's daylight savings time at the end of it. And don't forget to turn your clock back an hour or else you'll miss our council meeting the next day. And finally, I'm happy to announce with the review by our awesome auditor, the November and December trash rates will be forgiven. It'll be a rate holiday similar to what we have done in the past. There is enough money there to have both of those months suspended. So that concludes my report on a happy note.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's great news. Mr. Safety Service Director.
Thanks. I only wish we had more speed signs, but the 4 that we have, the digital ones, are moving around the community. We moved them from Hampton Place this past week over to Ridgefield, which has never had them. We've got Meadows Edge Lane that is now connected to the rest of the subdivision, and it's kind of given these people a heart attack, so they would like to have some help. So we did move it over there, and we plan on leaving them there a couple of weeks and then moving them someplace else. The garage has done a great job with making them portable rather than permanent. And they're the 2 that we have that they're building 2 more trailers for the other 2. But as we speak, they do work out nice. They give you a hit for a couple of weeks and then they move away, and then they can always come back. Sometimes when you put these up permanently all the time, it kind of blends into the rest of the signs that are out there. But when you do put this up for a short period of time, it does have an impact. People start thinking about how fast they are going through the subdivisions and on the streets. That completes my report this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Safety Service Director. Mr. Engineer.
I don't have a report for this evening. Pretty much our full depth projects are finishing up. Everything's going pretty well. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Engineer. Ms. Auditor.
Before council tonight is an ordinance to amend the 2020 appropriations as well as a then and now resolution. Earlier today, I sent the members of council as well as the administration a memo explaining each item included in both pieces. I'm happy to answer any additional questions you may have on that, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Auditor. To other reports, we have the September 2020 Building Department report. We have the September 2020 Fire Department report. We have the September 2020 Police Support Car report, and we have the September 2020 Water Distribution report. There is no old business. And that will bring us to recess.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
make a motion to dispense with recess.
It was moved by Booth, second by Molesky to dispense with recess. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? That will bring us to first readings. T-109.
T-109, 2020, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to enter into a moratorium of understanding with the cities of Avon, Avon Lake, Sheffield Lake, and Sheffield Village for an A5 city radio system.
Mr. President, if I may take a moment of your time to explain this a little bit. I put this on here as a holder, just for us to continue to read through the 3 readings. Right now, The 5 cities are in active discussion about moving forward with this project. We are still waiting for the grant information to come out. We are also waiting to see if there is one city that is thinking about not moving forward because of finances at this point in time. But in essence, if we don't move through this in a timely manner, and again, trying to get the other communities on board to all move in the same direction at the same time is a struggle. But the price of this system goes up next year, and we're trying to avoid that. If we can get everybody on the same page and moving forward by the end of the year, I'd like to have that ability, which is why this is on there. So as the information changes and I get it, I will share it with you, but as of right now, we're not looking to go forward right at this moment, but we may be, and I didn't want to just throw it on the agenda and ask you to pass it by the emergency at that point in time. But the memorandum that's attached has been amended since the last time that it was on the agenda. So, pretty much everything is in place except for that grant information, and that obviously will have an impact on everybody's ability to move forward as well, because it will, if we don't get the full amount of the grant, then that will require everybody to think about the cost incurred, that will be incurred by any shortfalls. But just to give you an idea, we've appropriated $140,000 for this project. We're at 153 right now, so we'd have to appropriate some additional money. But if only 4 cities go forward, we would have to then ask council for an additional $38,000 approximately. And if we wait until next year, if all 5 cities next year go forward, it's an increase of from this 153 of another 23,000. But if it was only 4 cities going forward next year, it would be a total of about $220,000 a piece for the 4 cities. So that's a significant change. So that's where I said everything kind of depends on the finances. It is something though that is necessary. And so I'm not sure how this is all going to work out, but there are some cities that have some radio systems that need to be addressed soon anyway. And it would be kind of silly for us not to move forward with this system. But understanding that the pandemic has changed the financial game for a lot of communities, that is impacting our ability to move forward.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And it's also what I was going to allude to is that what's the importance to our community as well as the surrounding communities? What benefit will this provide?
Right now, we're on a system, a radio system that needs to be updated. A system like this would allow us to put actually all of our police, fire, and service department on the same system. It would be almost like a system within the system. But the more important thing, I guess, from a bigger regional standpoint is the communication ability with the other communities. Right now, we're on one system, and then there's another system for another community, and we have multiple frequencies that we have to operate under, actually bands instead of frequencies, but it makes it actually next to impossible for some communication between certain departments where they have to use runners to communicate the information as opposed to using radios to do that. And in today's day and age, that's kind of ludicrous, but it was a problem in New York City during 9/11. Police and fire couldn't communicate with each other, and that led to obviously some big problems. We don't have those kind of significant events here, but in an event like the tennis club that burned down, that involved a lot of different communities at that fire, and we're trying to avoid those communication problems in those kinds of events.
Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Move ahead to T110.
T110, 2020, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to enter into a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the 2020 crack seal project and other appurtenances not to exceed $100,000.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, second by Hung to dispense with the second and third readings. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed?
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I move to add the emergency so that we can do our best to get this project completed before winter.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to add the emergency clause to T110 for the reasons stated. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to adopt T110 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any comments and questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank.
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
Avens.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Hung. Yes. Molesky.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes 5772, 2020.
T111.
T111, 2020, a resolution of support for the Ohio Public Works Commission priorities by authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or Local Transportation Improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to dispense with the second and third readings. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I make a motion to add the emergency so that we can meet the deadline of November 6th.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to add the emergency clause to T111 for the reasons stated. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to adopt T11 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank.
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
Avens.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Hung. Yes. Molesky.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The resolution passes unanimously and becomes 5002, 2020.
T112.
T112, 2020, an ordinance amending ordinance number 5690, 2019 of the city of North Ridgeville, providing appropriations for the period commencing January 1st, 2020 and ending December 31st, 2020.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
make a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to dispense with the second and third readings. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, make a motion to add the emergency as these amendments need to be made so that bills can be appropriately paid and funds appropriately deposited.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to add the emergency clause to T112 for the reasons stated by Mr. Councilman Booth. All in favor, say yes. All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to adopt T112 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time?
Mr. President,
Yes, Ms. Swain.
I would just like clarification on what number 269 CRF Local Government Assistant Program, what is that one for?
Ms. Sauter, would you please address?
Sure. That is the CARES Act funding received through the local government fund.
Are there any further questions?
Mr. President,
Yes, Ms. Hung.
so if we identified where that money's gonna be spent yet?
For the most part, yes. We're still narrowing down a couple of last minute items, but yes,
Thank you.
welcome.
Any further comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Hung,
Yes.
Molesky,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance 5773, 2020.
T113.
T113, 2020, a resolution to authorize the execution of then and now certificates by fiscal officer and payment of amounts due for various purchase orders.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
make a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Winkle to dispense with the second and third readings. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, make a motion to add the emergency as these expenditures have been approved and the work has been completed. Bills need to be paid.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Winkle to add the emergency clause to T113 for the reasons stated. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Winkle to adopt T113 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Hung,
Yes.
Molesky,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes resolution 1503, 2020.
T114.
T114, 2020, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to purchase vehicles and related equipment for the service department through the Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program and the Ohio Department of Transportation Cooperative Purchasing Program, and to enter into contract with an outside vendors not to exceed the below stated prices.
That will bring us to third readings. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Sorry, I'm gonna ask for the dispensing of the second and third readings for T114.
Second.
These vehicles are items that they're looking to use for the winter time with the snowplow attachments.
Correct, I believe it was the 1-ton crew cab, and then we also had a 1-ton dump truck with plow. And we did appropriate the funding for this during finance meeting last year. So very good. It was moved by the mayor, seconded by Booth to dispense with the second and third reading. All in favor, say yes.
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 All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I make a motion to add the emergency so that we can get the purchase orders done and get these vehicles in working order.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to add the emergency clause to T14 for the time constraint mentioned by Councilman Booth. All in favor, say yes.
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 All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Hung to adopt T114 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time?
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
just to confirm, the cost of these are being spread from the water operations and sewer operations, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swain,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Hung,
Yes.
Molesky.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes 5774, 2020.
Now we go third readings, and that's going to bring us to T 107. Yes, Mr. Booth.
Just one question, Mayor. Were we to add T115 to first readings this evening?
Yes, Mr. Booth, thank you for catching that. It's
I
right in
would-
front of me, but I don't know what I was staring at.
I will make a motion to add the T115 2020 and ordinance amending ordinance 5750-2020 to authorize the 2020 hydrant replacement project and other appurtenances by increasing the not to exceed amount from $420,000 to $450,000.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, second by Hung, to dispense with the, actually, we're just adding to the agenda at this point, to add to the agenda T115 for the reasons stated. All in favor, say yes.
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 All opposed?
Mr. President, can I ask then that the T115 be read under first readings?
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Booth. Clerk, could you please read T115?
T115, an ordinance amending ordinance 5750-2020, which authorized the 2020 hydrant replacement project and other appurtenances by increasing the not to exceed amount from $420,000 to $450,000.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
I
Booth.
have a question of the auditor. The extra funds for this, that'll come from water lines in the budget?
Yes, it's going to come from the Water Improvement Fund.
Okay, thank you. Mr. President, I make a motion to dispense with the second and third reads.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, second by Swank, to dispense with the second and third readings. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed?
Mr. President, I make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I also make a motion to add the emergency as these water line replacements add to the health, safety, and welfare of those residents that these water lines will be repaired with.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, second by Swank, to add the emergency clause to T115 for the reasons stated. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, second by Swank, to adopt T115 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Hung,
Yes.
Poleski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes 5775-2020.
T107, under third readings.
T107-2020, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to file an application for financial assistance with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources for public recreational purposes.
Mr. President,
Yes, Ms. Hung.
motion to adopt.
Second.
It was moved by Hung, seconded by Avens, to adopt T107. Are there any comments or questions at this time?
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
as council's representative to the Park and Rec Commission, I do want to report that at our last meeting last month, the commission did review, discuss this, and voted to recommend council approve this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'm
Mr.
sorry, this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Booth. Any other comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Hung,
Yes.
Poleski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The resolution passes unanimously and becomes 1504-2020.
That brings us to meeting announcements. Our next meeting will be on Monday, November the 2nd, 2020 at 7:30 PM, regular council chambers. Please have a healthy and safe Halloween and keep an eye on those children out there. Meeting adjourned.